Are you interested in becoming a coin collector? This is how easy it is. Go grab that old jar. Start collecting coins. That's simple. Alright, step number 4. Welcome back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It really would help me out on my channel to help it to grow. But there are some things that you are going to want to have when you start coin collecting. One of them being this loop right here. It helps to magnify and to be able to see your coins a little bit better. Now, I'm an old man, like I keep telling everybody, and using the loop for me is a little bit on the harder side because I can't really focus. I'm wearing reading glasses right now so I can see what I'm even doing. But anyhow, these loops cost anywhere from 10 to 15 bucks, but with somebody with a good eyesight, they'll be able to focus in on the coin that they're looking at. And this will really help when you're trying to decide what grade you believe your coin is, or if you find an error in one of your coins and say, oh, that's not supposed to be there. This will help. Now, I use a different type of magnifier, and so I would go ahead and hold my coin up underneath here and be able to see it. So you could get a light magnifier, and then you could even move over to a light microscope, and it just depends on how deep you want to get into your coin collecting. I personally like this idea right here because I can see the entire coin. And yes, there is a way to take it from here and connect it to your computer right there. So you could just be watching everything right there online. And so the next thing I would like to talk about is the Red Book. Now, you might hear the Red Book a lot. The Red Book is very, very helpful in deciding what kind of coin you got. So let's just going with the cent, the Lincoln cent. It starts with the large cent, blah, blah, blah. But anyhow, so you're going to go Lincoln wheat-eared reverse. Okay, so that's going to be a coin that's going to look something like this right here, if I would hold it up correctly. And that's a wheatback, okay? And these are very pretty coins if you can get them in this type of condition. And what I'm going to get at here is you have your coin here, and you look up your Lincoln wheatbacks, and you're going to start here at very good. Let me see if I can bring you in a little bit closer here. Okay, so we already know this coin is better than good, very good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated. And when I bought this coin, it was bought in a BU condition, and that's where I say BU is probably MS60. And so there's no trace of wear, light blemish, brown or red brown in color. Well, this is a red brown. It looks really red, but there is toning coming on here, and it's might not be able to see it too well through the camera lens, but it is starting to turn brown, and they will turn brown on you, okay, over the years. And so you're going to come along here and you're going to classify what your coin is worth, or what you believe it is. Now, what we would do is go to the next page here, and we're going to look up over here. Nope, back over here. This is a 1945, and like I say, I use my light over here to pick it up and see what kind of coin it is. And this is a, I've already forgot, Denver, 1945 Denver. Okay, in very fine condition, it's worth 10 cents. Extra fine, 20 cents. AU is 35 cents. And red brown, see the RB, red brown, MS 63. MS is for mint state. Okay, so would I give this an 85 cent? I probably would go maybe 75 cents for this one coin right here. Okay, so don't always go by the price here. This is again retail price. Okay, the gray sheet is going to have, well, mostly the gray sheet is for collectors, dealers more like it, and so their prices are excuse me, are a little bit lower than what the retail price is. But this is just a guide for you to go by. Now, when we go back here to this other page, you have all of this information here about the making of the coin, who made, VDB, Victor David Brenner. Now, he was the designer of the cent, okay? So here's a little bit of information about those coins, the Lincoln cent. And so this book is valuable to you in purchasing one. I would like to say they're 20 to 25 bucks a piece. I'm not really sure, but they're in that price range. Okay, so this is going to be all the information you really need to know when you are starting off coin collection. It's all in here. The next thing, I know this is a self-plug here, but I created a book because I had a hard time listing, I buy this coin, and it's saying in the red book that it's worth, like I say, 75 cents. Okay. So when I go to find it in my book, and the reason why I made a book is because the red book, the company that makes the red book, actually has one of these for roughly about $10. And the lines are half of the line that I have made them. I made them large enough to where I can see them, and it's a quick and easy reference here. So let's go over to the penny or the cent, and you will find, you're going to find all the dates that are most commonly collected. And here we go, getting closer. 59s. So here we have 1945, P, D, and S. And I have a Denver here for the D is Denver. And so I would write this in the grade I believe it is. I bought it in BU. I would put BU. The variety, I didn't see any varieties on here, so that's left blank. And then the price that I feel that the red book, and I'll put 75 cents or 70 cents. That list and categorizes all the coins I have in my collection. So I like this that I came up with. It's again, U.S. coin inventory, most commonly collected, and by me. So I like the book because of the fact that I can see it. Okay, and it will list all of my coins in here, and this is a blank one, of course, but that's where I like to list everything. The next thing that I would like to talk about is this gentleman. Let me see if I can get further out. No, how about the other way, Mark? Okay, this gentleman right here. when I saw this placemat. It's a placemat. Sits on your desk, and you can play with your Lincoln Cents all day. He does have other placemats. They're about $25 a piece. It's from Rob Finds Treasures, and like I said, I think it was 25 bucks. Anyhow, I love this thing because now I don't have to go over here to my red book and start to search out whether they're, 1936 Philadelphia double die obverse. Okay, so everything is kind of listed here, and yes, there are a whole bunch of other types, but these are more common. And also over here, the mintage. Like I said, I bought one of these, the 1909 SVDB Victor David Brennan, and as you see, there's only 500,000, less than 500,000 in this world, and I bought one, and I've got one. But these key dates, the semi-key dates, everything is listed here for you, and it's a quick reference guide. And like I said, I just, when I saw it, I had to have one, and so I bought one. And again, thank you, Rob Finds Treasure. He has a very good channel. Love it. Anyhow, the other day I was talking about saying that math does not lie. Well, what I'm getting at also is I'm going to use an approximate number here. And I'm saying there's 350 million people in the United States. Rob Finds Treasure and Daniel Coin Help You, total subscribers to their channels for both the channels is 500,000. Okay, how many coins do we have over here? If every one of those subscribers all had a 1909 SVDB, what about the rest of these people? That's 300. What is that? 300. Take a half away. 49,500,000. Those people don't get one. You see where I'm going with this? Coin collecting can become very, very valuable. That's just a little example there. So this little video was about things that you might want to get a hold of. You might want to get a scale, and because there's going to be sometimes that you have a zinc penny versus a copper penny, and there's a weight difference between the two, especially when you come up with the 1982 Denver, whether it's a copper or a zinc. And the copper one, of course, is more valuable, but also at the same time, there's things that you need to look for when you are looking at 1982 Denvers. But a scale would always help make sure that you can get it down into the grams, and that way you can weigh, because a 3.1 versus a 2.5 gram, there's not a whole lot of difference, so you need a very sensitive type of scale. Anyhow, so this was just a really quick, but it's step number 4. And again, like and subscribe, help my channel out. And I'll be back in a minute with step number 5. All right, I'm back. And now we're going to talk about mint marks. On one of my videos, I showed the mints that the buildings that the mints started with. Some of them are really old, and then when you get to the West Point Mint, well, of course, that's a whole lot newer. So what are we looking for in mint marks? Here is a 1968 proof S, San Francisco, Kennedy $50. Beautiful looking coin, but it's a proof, okay? And proofs are always gonna typically look beautiful. Let's go with this Ike. This Ike looks really nice and pretty. It's also San Francisco. They make some really beautiful coins there. When you go to the Denver or Philadelphia mint coins, they're going to be not as beautiful, but the whole point is you want to try to get them in the highest or nicest grade that you have. Now, as you can see, I'm holding these two in my hand, but I also had the Kennedy collection in the Dansko album, like this Dansko album here, and these two did not make the grade, but I didn't want to get rid of them, so I put them in a 2x2. There's a little bit of toning going on that one. Washington, it's a Denver mint, Philadelphia mint, and here's a West Point mint. So the W right here. Okay, now when you look at the coins, you're going to be looking for the W mint mark, which is going to be right there. I don't know if I can get closer for you. Okay, so Mark, that's an ugly looking coin. But do you know that this coin is worth 20 bucks just because it has a W on it? Isn't that weird? Over here, I could have the exact same date, everything, and this is going to be worth a quarter. Okay, but it's not a W. The W mint marks from the West Point mint are automatically, for some reason, more valuable. They don't make a whole lot. Here's another one from the West Point. And when you go coin roll hunting, make sure you pull all the W quarters out that you can find. I believe there's a penny, the nickel, and the dime also. The West Point mint, for some reason, just comes out every once in a while, and they just throw it into a collection, and boom, they don't make it as a yearly type of thing. So here I have Morgan silver dollars, and an 1878, but there's no mint mark behind it. You see that? Whenever there's no mint mark, it doesn't mean that you have a special coin. It just means it came from Philadelphia. All right, so keep that in mind when you see a coin and say, oh no, there's no mint mark on here, I'm rich. No, you're not. It's Philadelphia got lazy sometimes. I don't know what happened, but a lot of times they didn't put a P for the Philadelphia. So the next coin we have here is a 1878 Carson City. Now, Carson Cities are very rare coins and very collectible. Now, I think this one was probably about 300 bucks or something like that. But you can see the CC up underneath the ribbon, the wreath coming there, but you'll be able to see the CC down there in the bottom. There's another mint mark. So let's turn this back around, and we'll go down here towards the bottom. And this is an 1883 O. O is from New Orleans. And the Carson City and the New Orleans mint have since closed down. And there we can see the O in the same place, like where the wreath at the bottom of the wreath and just above the word dollar, but there's an O right there, and that's for the New Orleans mint. So you have the Philadelphia, the Denver, the San Francisco, the New Orleans, you have the Carson City, and you have the West Point. So you have roughly 6 different places that mint coins. So this was just a quick find your mint mark, and that's where you can say this is a Denver mint mark. Or you go over here and oops, there's no mint mark, but it's a Philadelphia. All right, so that was a little quick explanation of where you're going to look for different types of mint marks, and that wraps up step number 5. Step number 6. We're going to look for varieties, errors, And I'm only going to use this one coin because there's a bunch, as you can see right here, of different varieties. 1909 VDB double die obverse. Okay, that's interesting. 1907, blah, 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 all the way down this entire list right here of different things you can look for in the cent. The Lincoln cent, whether it be the wheat back, so the memorial back, or the shield back on the wheat cent, on the Lincoln cent. And so I had bought, I buy people's collections, and I know I should really go through them. But I don't go through them, and then if I find something really exciting later, well, then I found something exciting. Now, I made a video on this one here before. This is the Sacagawea $1. This was the first year of issue in 2000. It has a Philadelphia here, and the 2000 it has a Denver there. This I'm still got a big old question mark above my head. This is a first day of issue. In the folders, they have never been opened, and I found an error. So we're going to compare these two side by side and get a little bit closer. So the first one is the Denver Mint, and as you can see, that looks just fine. It's a pretty coin, maybe, I don't know, MS 64, 65, 66, in that range. I'm only assuming. I am not a grader. But if you look at that coin and you compare it, and this is what I'm getting at for you personally, so you have two coins that are sitting side by side, and you're saying, well, there's something wrong with that other coin. It's different. This is called the Wounded Eagle. So you can see the arrow that's running through, let me see if I can, right there. See that arrow that runs right through there? That makes that coin more rare compared to this coin, which totally looks normal. So this is a rare coin right here, and it is a variety with the Wounded it's called the Wounded Eagle. There's a Wounded Bison. I believe it's on the 2005. And to tell you the truth, I learn a lot of this from other people's coins videos. So when you're looking at your coins and you go, oh, that doesn't look right, you want to be able to distinguish it. And if you go to, I believe it's PCGS has a website, and it can tell you all the varieties, like all of these over here, what they look like, and it also tells you what type of, of error that is listed as. And so, like I said, I have this, I'm still confused as to what I would do with this. Of course, it's my coin collection, so I can do whatever I want to, correct? All right, so this was just a really quick one because there are so many varieties, as you saw over here on the edge. These varieties are all just in Lincoln cents. And so there's varieties for nickels and dimes and quarters and half dollars and silver dollars. There's varieties in pretty much everything, and it's just something happened at the mint, and they didn't catch it, and it went through the entire process, and boom, here I have it sitting here in front of me, is this mint error. Okay, so you can look at all your coins and compare them side by side and say, oh, there's something wrong with that coin. I'm going to look it up. So in the situation, we have a 1944 double die over double die over S. Sorry, this is a 1944 D over S. Okay. That's the signification for double die. So that's a 1944 D D over S. So that is a mint error. And that makes that coin worth a little bit more. Okay, just because it's an error. And so there are people that look for errors all the time. I'm not really one that looks for errors, but when they come along, I sure do catch them. So anyhow, that was wrapping everything up. And so that's step number 6. I hope y'all enjoyed the first series of steps 1 through 3, and now this is 4 through 6, and we'll have some more coming out, but this is just to learn what to look for, what you're going to need, and just to get you started in collecting coins. And don't forget to like and subscribe and help an old veteran out. It would really help my channel out if I got more people to hit that subscribe button and watch time. So, hey, love all of y'all. Y'all be good, and we'll talk at you later. Bye.